We're in the book of 1 Samuel talking about King Saul. King Saul was the very first king of Israel. And he was supposed to offer an offering, and he had to wait for Samuel, the prophet, to come and make the offering for him. And he got impatient, and he went ahead and made the offering, did the sacrifice by himself. And Samuel finally arrives and says, "What have you done?" Saul replied, "When I saw that the men were scattering and that you did not come at the set time, and that the Philistines were assembling at Michmash, I thought, now the Philistines will come down against me at Gilgal, and I have not sought the Lord's favor. So I felt compelled to offer the burnt offering." "You acted foolishly," Samuel said. "You have not kept the command the Lord your God gave you. If you had, he would have established your kingdom over Israel for all time. But now your kingdom will not endure. The Lord has sought out a man after his own heart and appointed him leader of his people because you have not kept the Lord's command." All right. So this seems kind of insignificant that Saul is rejected for not waiting for Samuel to offer the burnt offering in the middle of a battle. And yet David is seen as, because that's who we're talking about here, a man after God's own heart. That will be David. And if you know anything about Scripture, you know that David did much worse things than Saul. He committed adultery with Bathsheba. He was a murderer, killed Bathsheba's husband. He was a terrible father. So this makes God look unjust. And so we find that God rejected Saul for what we think is insignificant, but he accepts David who does much more serious things. Now, here's what we have to understand. By God's standards, somebody with the best behavior may be rejected if there isn't any place in that person's heart for God, while somebody like David, who miserably failed, miserably sinned, may be accepted because the desire of his heart was to love and serve the Lord. So the central question here in chapter 13 is not what Saul did, but how what he did related to the motives of his heart, right? He had an unwillingness to submit himself without reserve to the will of God for his life that cost him the kingdom. David, who sinned far greater, always had a heart to follow God in spite of his sins, and that encourages each one of us because we can also be people after God's own heart. Tiny Hands Bible, now go be faithful.